Hello, my name is David Schuster and I'm a glass artist. This next few videos will be a studio class on squashed glass. I'll explain a little bit about that in just a few minutes. But let me talk a little bit about myself and where we live. My wife, Mickey Schuster, is also a glass artist. She's been making glass for a number of years. And I've been making glass for about 7 years. This is our studio. It's in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We've been working out of this studio for about 6 years now, and it's a great space and allows us to make a lot of neat glass. Let me talk to you a little bit about the squashed glass. These are pieces that I have made using my technique that I've developed with the squashed glass. I've been doing this for about almost 5 years, from the beginning of the process to what I have now. As you can see, the colors are different. The patterns are different on the top as opposed to the back. These are bowls that I was working on a series about a year ago and started that. Again, squashed glass on the outside, a nice solid green on the inside, and then they're in a drop mold. So there's quite a bit of stuff going on here because you use the squash glass process, which I do here, and then you use the drop mold process. And these are quite thick, as you can see. They're about 3/8 of an inch thick, so they're quite heavy and quite nice. Several different processes that I use. You can compare those two. Again, similar type of bowl, but a little bit different process on this backside. If we have time in this whole series, I'll show you how I do that process as well. With that second process, you can make some really interesting patterns. In 2018, Bullseye was having their Emerge competition, and I had entered it that year. It's 2 years ago now, and this is a piece that I entered. Again, it's a squashed piece. That's the front, that's the back, and you can see the multi-layers as you look at the edge of the piece. It was again, the Emerge 2018 competition, and I was one of the Emerge finalists in that competition. And there's my piece in that competition. So we will, in this studio class, learn how to make a squash piece, similar to what I did in the Emerge piece. These are a little bit different, but we can get to that in a different workshop. We'll start from the prep work that I do with the kiln shelves and the kiln wash, what I do with the kiln, how I set it up, what I do with getting the glass pieces put on the kiln shelf so that we can get a design made up so that when it squashes, it turns out to be something that we have in our mind. But there's always surprises, so that's going to be the fun part as well. When you pull that piece, that kiln shelf, that top kiln shelf off and look at the piece, it's pretty exciting, and it's a lot of fun to see what has happened in the kiln. You know, my philosophy has always been the kiln is another tool. And I use it as a tool. I use the kiln the way that I want to use that kiln and make it do to the glass what I want it to do. And that's always been my philosophy. So I've always gone in that direction with my glass. Once we get the glass out of the kiln, I'll show you how to clean it up, and then we'll cut it. We'll pick some molds to put it in and go through the slumping process and the final cold working process. And that'll be the class. So hope you enjoy it. As you watch these videos and come along, I'm not asking for any donations for myself or any payment of any type. I'm not funded or supported by any glass company or glass store. I do this because I think it's important and hopefully inspiring to those of you who want to do something like this. If you do want to donate, donate to your favorite artist in your community. Because right now, during this time with COVID-19, I'm sure they could use donations from people who really enjoy their art. So donate, pick an artist, donate to them, pass on this to someone else that could use some of your money. But thank you for joining, and let's get started.